Perhaps the words whispered as I watched in the dark penetrated. The avenues suddenly flooded. My dorsal wave shocked to the cortex. Sharks swam by my dorsal lateral cortex, beckoning me to a zone unknown, at least not at present I could not understand why I hovered above this region, why my mind elevated perspectives changed like dragons that march the sea, trampled in muddy waters, muddy puddles, producing giant monsters, giant rifts, gaping dips in the ground below its heavy paw. But it doesn't matter because no one sees it. But the girl who stepped into the puddle of muddy waters on her local street now limps from the broken ground beneath, from the shark's predatory defeat, lightning flash, renting, slash, the severance of the dividing sacrificial moment when she became prey unknowing to an environment growing uncontrollably for the growth of one. Demigorge eating them one by one, savoring each who dared to brave the waters deep. There be pirates that planked, laid flat their chests, and docked their ships equipped with mother whip, had the sweetest elixir to create a whole world of her own. Her remains washed up another May Day, where April showered, cried tears upon the land, as her heart cried for growth. Heart from desert's drought led her through burning sands, endless grains of amber, dry like the weak germ, blowing in the wind, dust bowl, dry mouth, deep voice, dropping in the underworld, into the underworld. With cattle skulls, tumbleweed current circumvently making rounds amidst the dry cyclone. Next to the peyote, last hope, sip, dream, no longer baked by the mirage of no escape of the sun, of the heat of the sun, for the battle he had not won. Now in a land of duality, the pressure helped make me to lie down in green pastures beside still waters, and the cow jumped over the moon. No longer starving, she left the silky trail, and the beef that was had in my dorsal lateral cortex was introduced prime suspect. But after 4 rounds came from the north to the south, from the portal to this portal, exit stage right, left, ego's false presentation to waste in the desert it baked. As truth shined, metaphysically changed lines intertwined to bring fortitude to what was once considered weak. But after storms, battles, many days without hearing the sound of laughter, it comes nigh. Golden heart produced of golden trails, dark days fiery hot, pressure to concede the life-giving ability. I will not forfeit. I will not sign the deed. I will not give her away because she is unwanted. I will not let her go because she is not the strongest in this moment. I will not forget the beauty of the twinkling of her eye when I experience a magical moment. I will not punish her for not systematically deconstructing self to explore the brokenness, to discover wholeness. I will hold her precious and statuesque with femininity, covered gracefully, dashingly in headdress, a necklace golden slippers for the many miles walked round and round and round. Golden crown for Tourette's eyewear, golden crown knowledge from the dome chromed by dare, the audacity to say, respect femininity as I move into the new realm of protecting her in self, developed control, aggression to complete her session of exploring deep dark self, and why the split and the unilateral drift tried to disconnect me from self. Alright. Wrote that poem because one of the concepts that I learned about while I was unraveling the mystery of self, who I am and what it is that the illusion that has been, told, the story that has been painted before us. And I began to, of course, because if somebody trying to tell you you have a condition that you don't have, you start to try to study and understand what it is they are trying to place upon you. So that's exactly what I did, and began to understand the deepness and the darkness of self, and where self goes and where self the darkness, the darkest crevices of sometimes giving up on self and giving over to the alter ego, the ego that's inside that's telling you that you have to be someone else, and that ego is based upon the conditionings and the surroundings of your environment, whether you like it or not. The things that you hear, whether negative or positive. Sometimes the mind has the ability to take negative comments and turn them into a positive light and see the positivity behind it. Sometimes mind isn't able to, and when it isn't able to, it builds defenses, and in those defenses it begins to build a construct that protects self that's not necessarily real. And so in the process of protecting self, if we allow ourselves to become aligned with the mal or bad or the other side that isn't you, the truest essence of you, because the truest essence of everybody, when we're born, we don't come out the womb slicing necks and slicing throats, and we don't come out the womb doing these types of behaviors, barbaric behaviors. These are learned behaviors. So also within the concept of this poem, I learned that the hating of the female and the misconstrued perception of femininity and the female body was misconstrued, and the connection between the male and the female was misconstrued. And so that in my process of digging and going at that, I had a moment, even after I had left, therapy and care, that sort of thing. I decided, I was watching media propaganda, things that people put out, and it had me thinking about forfeiting my birthright. And like I said, that was a moment in which I had to fight back the forces. I knew, I know the power of woman. Everybody knows that you can't get here unless you come through a coochie, or vagina, the womb, the yoni, pocketbook, the many different terms that women have placed upon their precious goods, both implied and those given, those that they placed upon themselves. So, and then the other side of it is that, once I understood that these things were put in place so that ultimately we would all hope, you know, give up on self. I guess if you're talking about if the will to live is one side and the lack of that desire to live is on the other side, and of course me being a person who wants to live, wanting other people, other beings to live, of course I want other beings to live and be happy and live it in truth, and you know, use your intellect, your intuition, and your imagination, but use it for your gain, not for your detriment of self or society. But you do have that other element that looks for self-destruction and looks for the degradation and the decline. And that's okay, because there are cycles, because what goes up must come down. What goes down, yeah, it can be lifted up, can be resurrected. So I guess, like I said, my poetry is about nurturing the self-esteem of dark woman, and understanding that I understand that it is a constant challenge, but that challenge only exists because many do not understand the beauty and the essence of femininity and its divine origin. So yeah, just writing more poetry, hopefully to uplift and hope bring some alertness and some conscious moments to these dark days. Alright, love you guys. Peace.